My name is Schalk Hollenbach. I'm a Cisco instructor at CTU Stellenbosch. I also do the IT technical support and MCSA. I actually come from a small town called Upington in the Northern Cape. And from that time, when I was in Upington in my high school, I started doing IT. I had an interest in IT, and I decided that I want to bridge out a little bit more. Now, in the beginning, it was more in software development, and I saw that this is not going to be for me. And then I found CTU in Bloemfontein specifically, and I went to CTU Bloemfontein for one specific reason, was for the HOP being in Bloemfontein. Now, I started in my first year with MCSA, even though I wanted to do Cisco. At that time, Cisco was a second year course only. So I started with MCSA, and at that time the MCSA HOP was also giving class in Bloemfontein. Then for my second year I went over to Cisco, and then also the HOP for Cisco was on the same campus. So I was very privileged to have the HOPs giving me direct class. The branch manager of Bloemfontein, she approached me and asked me to give some of the corporate classes. First started with very basic stuff, A+, N+, and then worked up from Windows to server, and then later on into Cisco itself. Also found that by teaching other people the information, I also learned much more about the information. I want to be the best Cisco facilitator that there is. And I started here in Stellenbosch with a small class of Cisco students, about 4 Cisco students in my first year. And then in my second year, I went from 4 Cisco students immediately to 18 Cisco students, which is the largest recorded Cisco career class that CTU had. I got my full qualification as a Cisco certified systems instructor, and I was also told by the instructor that I'm one of the youngest qualified people he has ever qualified. I would say I'm a person that loves to train. Specifically work with students. I always found that because I'm still not very old, I still find a very good connection with the students. I like to see them perform to their best. I also like to see them pushing their limits to get where they can actually go. I decided that I am going to push my limits. I want to be the best. So in everything I do, I always try to be the best that I can be. So if I see someone that's a better Cisco facilitator than me, then I'm going to try to better my work up until an equal level, or even try to get a better level than that person. What inspired me to go into the training specifically of Cisco is, first of all, since I was small, I have been in front of a computer. I always tried to figure out what works. I always broke a bunch of stuff and tried to fix it again. My father always told me that if I break something on the computer, I will need to fix it by myself. Otherwise, I'm not getting a different computer. So from that time, it motivated me to try to find out as much as possible. Now, I had a bunch of people telling me at that stage that Cisco is a very well-known brand and a very well-known direction to go in. I am one of those people that if you're going to say that something is extremely difficult, then that's definitely the thing that I'm going to do. At CTU, everybody was telling me that that is the most difficult qualification that you can do. So that was my main motivation. And then when I started seeing how the interaction worked, how the facilitator works with the students and what you actually learn from them, I decided that this is something that I would like to do. I would also like to give my information to students, to give them my knowledge, to show them exactly how wonderful Cisco is, because I really fell in love with the entire program. I would say the person in my life that definitely pushes me to my new limits is my mother and my father. They never had the opportunity to go study further in their life. They built themselves up through work experience and so on, and then my father always promised us that if he can, then he will go and give us a qualification. From when I started in my first year, I told them that I will do my best and I will never try to fail anything. And up until, from my first year in 2013 up until now, I haven't failed one single international. I always push myself to do the best that I can, so that at the end of the day I can give them a phone call and tell them I have this new qualification or I did this well in an exam. So just to see their reaction, to see that they're proud. Who am I? I am Schalk Hollenbach and I am a CTU success story.